Joining us now as an expert in helping these businesses work through that is Karyn Kokeny she's a business and executive coach at Kokeny and Associates with us on the Oakland County MegaCast. Karyn, thank you for being with us today.
You're welcome. Great to be here, and thanks for having me.
We appreciate having you on. How have you been? How's your team doing?
Doing very well, thank you. Hanging in and actually doing very well.
For those who are
Appreciate that.
for those who are unfamiliar, introduce us to your business. What do you do? How do you help people in our community?
Well, as a business coach, I work with business owners and executive team leaders to bring out the best in people. It's a process, and we look at everything about a business to help the business not only survive but to thrive.
Karyn, during this time, it's so tough for these businesses to navigate all the regulations that are on them, all the different constraints for public health, both for themselves in regards to their employees, but also to their customers. What kind of advice do you give to these businesses to navigate all that, do so in a positive manner, and put their best foot forward to continue to be able to like you say, survive and thrive while also doing their part to prevent further spread of the virus?
It is definitely some interesting times that we're in, very much unprecedented throughout the world. And the best thing businesses can do, it's what my business is doing and what I'm working with my clients, is just to stay focused. We need to stay the course right now. It's not to say that we don't look at, and I highly encourage us to look at, we go back and look at the strategy, the goals that are in place, and we might make some small adjustments or changes to those as needed, given whatever the current circumstances are. But the most important thing is to not over adjust at a time like this. So just stay the course, stay focused, always forward. And that's why it's very important to have the right strategies, the right vision, mission, and goals in place, because that's used as your guide, your light to take you forward to where you need to go. The other very important thing at times like this is to keep talking with your customers. Our customers are the most important thing. They're why we exist. And ultimately, a business exists to make money. And we don't make money unless we have customers, right? So whether the customers are buying goods or services, keep talking to your customers, because your customers are going to tell you what their needs are. You want to be asking them, have their needs changed? Is anything expected to change? If not yet, is anything expected to change? And this allows us to stay ahead of the competition, as well as to just keep a compass for what might be needed in the future so that we can future-proof our business.
Karyn, with so many businesses trying to manage their flow of money right now due to the loss of business during the pandemic, how do you convince them that a service such as yours is wise for them to invest in?
Great question. Many business owners, even leaders and executives within organizations, they feel very, very isolated. And perspective is something that is really needed in business. We often people don't have self-awareness, and we are products of our experiences. So we may not be making the best decisions, or managing our resources in a way that's in the best interests of not only the short-term needs of our business, but just as importantly, the longer-term needs of our business. So, everyone really does need a coach, an accountability partner, a mentor to help provide varying perspectives on a situation, maybe see things from a different point of view, consider all options in decision making. And, it's an investment for certain, but it's an investment that most definitely pays off, because you've got someone who's as invested in your business as you are, and in its success, and they're helping you every step along the way, checks and balances, being a sounding board, bringing in additional resources if necessary, and so much more.
Karyn Kokeny with us. She's a business and executive coach at Kokeny and Associates. Karyn, at this point in time, people are many people are still out of work, they're unemployed, and there may be opportunities to return to work, but a lot of these employees that are unemployed are apprehensive about coming back to the workplace. They're getting their unemployment benefits. They're getting still for at least in an interim the federal benefit as well, and it can be tough for these companies to recruit talent back to the office or to bring in new talent and convince them to come in. What is some advice that you're giving to your clients to attract talent to come back to work or to come into work altogether at these businesses?
Another great question. It's it's so hard when people are receiving money for sitting at home and they're not very well incented to go back to work. So certainly these government incentives have definitely hurt businesses. But the thing is that people who are worth having part of the organization, they're out there, they're looking for a place to call home, if you will, where they can contribute and they can be rewarded for their contributions. You have to be the kind of business that attracts high talent. And that's another thing that a coach will help a business with. One of the things to do is to remain flexible, remain open. Sometimes businesses have to make the hard choices to let go of people who just aren't willing to go that extra mile. So we need to have a long-term view. We need to prepare our businesses to be the kind of businesses that attract high talent, good talent. And then once we have the talent, we work with businesses to help retain those high performing individuals so we can increasingly set ourselves apart from the competition over time. Everything's a process, everything's a journey, and there are many things that we can do to be that kind of business. But again, it all starts with defining a strategy and understanding from sitting down and really understanding the goals and the targets from business owners or executive leaders, knowing where they want to go. And then we put together a very comprehensive strategy. And then literally all the things that we do once that's in place are in line with and in accordance with that strategy so that we can execute now and implement feet on the street at the feet on the street level to bring that strategy into realization and continuously stay ahead of the competition, attracting real talent and keeping real talent. We also have to stay innovative, and sometimes that means even creating new markets, which can be challenging, but it's possible. So many things that can be implemented.
Karyn, we are seeing politics trickle down into the business community, and with the world where it is right now in our nation, it can be so political and so divisive. What advice are you giving to business owners when it comes to addressing some of the issues in our country on the political spectrum?
If anybody has the key to that question, let me know. It is quite interesting, isn't it? And so divisive. Find the common ground. People are people, and at the end of the day, most people, most businesses really want the same thing. It's results. For people, it could be things like freedom, time, more time with their families. Same thing with business owners. But first and foremost, they want results. The way to get to a goal is to come together, find the common ground. I wish we would do that on a political platform, frankly, but we can do that. And I work with my clients to just find the commonality, find the ways that we are all aligned, and then you strengthen that alignment, you strengthen that cohesiveness, you build leadership literally at every level of the organization so that people are learning to work with, even coach, mentor, be accountability partners to one another. And that just strengthens the foundation from the bottom up, from the core up. You also have to have a strong set of values and principles that the business operates on. And again, aligning on these values and these principles, it sort of makes everything else moot, if that makes sense. And that is also a very much a guiding light for any decision making, resource management within the organization, is when these principles and these core values are strongly and firmly in place, it makes everything else much more simple, and it makes everything else much more fluid, and it makes results come much more quickly.
Karyn, there's been so much innovation by our businesses, especially our retailers and our restaurants, during the course of this pandemic. As we're continuing forward through the rest of this pandemic, and these businesses continue to innovate, what are you doing? What are you telling them to do in terms of focusing on the details of those innovations and those pivots that they've made, and how they can tailor those changes to in the future to continue to thrive with these changes down the road when the pandemic is over?
Well, first of all, I don't work too much with retail type customers. It's pretty much everything but that. It would be the same though with any business. It's that resiliency, being close to the ground as far as listening to that customer base and what they're saying and what they're needing and what they're hearing. Also implementing things that make them have a better peace of mind, the customers that is, as they visit those establishments, would be very important. Making sure they have pure air. There are ways to purify the air so that when customers walk into an environment, they know that they can have peace of mind that they're going to be safe in those environments. It's true for any business. Make sure that you put your customers, your employees first, that you care about them, talk to them, have group meetings, get input. And it's not to say to let them take over, but certainly listen and be open to what they're saying and what their needs are. We have to remain flexible and just do our best to navigate through this time, because it is an unknown. That's the best advice I can give.
Karyn, anything else for us? Any other lasting advice for these businesses as they go forward?
I would say everyone needs a coach. And again, stay focused. Everyone needs a coach, whether it's in sports, whether it's in business. A coach provides you with accountability, partnership. It provides you with perspective. It helps business owners and executive leaders see you as others see you, which is incredibly important. Everything starts with awareness, and then the conversation goes from there. Consider investing in a coach. It might just very well be the best investment that your business could ever make. Money, time, you've got it all. Investing in a coach will ensure that you're working on your business enough and not just in your business, and ensure that week to week there's consistency in the focus and towards those ultimate goals so that they are realized over time. And it is a process. So miracles don't necessarily happen overnight. In fact, they don't usually. Business coaching ensures that we're taking those little steps in the right areas consistently, day after day, week after week, so that we're assured of getting phenomenal results, and so that business not only, as I said earlier, survives, but it thrives.
Karyn, thank you very much for being with us today.
You're welcome. If anyone wants further information, you can email me at karynkokeny.com, and that's Karyn with a Y, Karyn at Karyn Kokeny, KarynKokeny.com, and we'll give you further information or a free strategy session. Thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate the time.
Appreciate having you on. Karyn Kokeny, business and executive coach at Kokeny Associates, with us on the Oakland County MegaCast.